am Jacob, and this is Theoretical Drinking. And today, I'm going to show you how to make one of my personal standby drinks that I drink quite a lot of. And that is Scotch and Dr Pepper. Don't run away. It's actually quite tasty, especially if you like Scotch. If you don't like Scotch, maybe, maybe not. It depends. Try it, find out. But if you like Scotch, believe me, this is a good drink. Now, you're not going to use the high-end Scotch, you know, some wonderful single malt, you know, that you've been having sitting in the closet for 10 years just waiting for that. No, you're just going to use some regular blended Scotch. I use Black Label. That's my personal everyday Scotch. It's a blended Scotch. It's not a single malt, but I find that it's very, it's a good standby Scotch. I always have it because sometimes I have drinks that require Scotch that I, again, don't want to use a nice single malt or something like that. Johnny Walker Black Label, excellent Scotch for everyday use. Now, this drink is a lot like a Jack and Coke, except it's Scotch and Dr Pepper. And the thing is, here's the thing, you cannot mix, well, I mean, you can if you want to, but I advise you not to mix Scotch and Coke. That is disgusting. Really, it is. There's something about Scotch. It's all whiskey. Scotch is whiskey, Jack is whiskey, but there's just something about Scotch that if you mix it with Coke, it is disgusting. You don't want it. However, or before we get to that, and also, Dr. Pepper, if you try to mix Dr. Pepper with Jack, yuck, gross. Don't do that. Don't do that. But something about the way that Scotch and Dr. Pepper are put together, when you add them and you mix them together, it's quite tasty. It's very good. So, let's get started. Now, this is a drink, you're not going to shake this, you're just going to pour it in your glass, pour it over ice, give it a little stir, and you'll be ready to go. So, let's get some ice. You don't need a whole lot. You want to, I generally drink this from a low ball. If you want to get crazy and drink from a highball glass or Collins or something like that, go ahead, you know, adjust your proportions to fit the glass. But I drink it from a highball glass because if you drink enough of this, you're going to get drunk. You know, 2, 3, you're definitely going to start feeling it. I mean, honestly, you might start feeling it after one because you're having 1.5 ounces of 40 proof alcohol. That's basically a shot and a half of or 40 proof, 80 proof alcohol, 40%. So that's like a shot and a half of just liquor. You know, you don't. It's gonna get you lit up. But you know, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. You've been at work all week. You're tired. You just want to come home. You want to have a drink, but you don't want something that's gonna be, you know, I have to mix this and mix that and shake it and blah blah. You just want to pour something and drink it. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, your personal ratio may vary. Your measurements might be different. I generally end up with between 1 and 2 ounces of Scotch in my glass, and generally it's about 1.5 ounces. Oh, I went ahead and measured this some time ago just to see how much I was drinking. So, that's your 1.5 ounces Scotch. We're gonna go ahead and pour that in there, and then you're just gonna go ahead and top it up with Dr. Pepper. My Dr. Pepper is absolutely flat. That does not matter, but it's just this cap is loose or something, and it's just totally flat. But that's okay because you're really not here for the fizz. You're here for the flavor. Shocking, I know. A lot of people don't like Dr. Pepper. You know what? Just try it. Try Dr. Pepper and Scotch together. It definitely works. I've had people who do not like Dr. Pepper drink this, and they're like, "That's okay. I like that. I'll drink that." There's just something about it. They mix together and they make a completely different flavor. And so you're just going to go ahead and top it the rest of the way with Dr. Pepper. There you go. Yeah, see, it just pops when you try to tighten the... it's horrible. You're going to go ahead and get you a stir. Give it just a quick little guy. It generally mixes pretty well just when you pour it, but you want to give it a stir just to make sure. You want to be careful not to slop over the edges because we are civilized folk. And there it is, Scotch and Dr Pepper. It's a very neutral drink. If you get a little heavy on the Scotch, you might get a very definite alcohol taste. But if you get the right proportion, it won't have a really heavy alcohol taste. I have just a hint kind of in the background. But mostly you get a very neutral taste. This is something you can literally just sit here and just, sip. You can just sit here and sip this, or even just, you could chug this if you wanted to. Very, very hidden on the alcohol. It's not something that you're going to immediately drink and say, this definitely has alcohol in it. But yeah, it's very good. And it's really hard to classify the flavor because it doesn't taste like Scotch and it doesn't taste like Dr Pepper. And it's not like something where you can say, oh, it's kind of in between them, because it really isn't. I honestly don't know what I could say this tastes like. It's got kind of a bit of sweetness from the Dr Pepper. Not a lot. It's definitely not going to overwhelm you. I honestly don't know how to tell you what this tastes like. This is really something you have to take. Just get some Scotch, get a little bit of Dr Pepper. You can go to the store and get one of those little actually Black Label comes in the little 50 milliliter shot bottles. So you could try that. Go get one of those. It comes in, I think it's like somewhere between $3 and $6, I think, for one of those little shot bottles. Get that, get a little Dr Pepper, mix it up, see how it tastes. It's very good. I drink this a lot. It's a very good, relaxing, I'm done with my day, I'm just going to have a drink and then go to bed sort of drink. It's something that I have been drinking for a very long time, and I will always recommend it. And then after you've been drinking it for a while, you do start to get a bit of the Scotch. You can start to taste the Scotch, but you really can't taste Dr Pepper, which is crazy because this is something like 60–70% Dr Pepper. But I don't know. You really can't taste Dr Pepper. After a while, you'll start to taste the Scotch after it starts to coat your palate. But I just really don't get any Dr Pepper out of this. So there you have it, Scotch and Dr Pepper. It is a delicious midweek, I am going to have a drink and go to bed sort of drink. So that's going to be it for today. This is Theoretical Drinking. I am Jacob. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, go ahead and tell me so in the comments below. Like my videos, subscribe to my channel, etc., etc. I have a Tumblr, theoreticaldrinking.tumblr.com, or you can just do a search for Theoretical Drinking on Tumblr, you'll find me. And that is going to be all. Until next time. Bye.